Hey everyone, welcome back to another great episode of 100% Fresh with Two Chef Mission. We are Two Chef Mission, and we are really excited about bringing you this episode because I feel, is something that a lot of people struggle with in the sense that why is meal planning so hard?
Yeah, but also it's another chef bite of our meal planning mini series. So, yeah, why is meal planning so hard?
I guess to put it into perspective, there's a lot of things that go around meal planning. People expect that you have to create all of your meals all at once for the entire week when you do meal planning.
Well, there's kind of also there's just a variety of things that go into it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, okay, well, am I going to meal prep? Am I going to not meal prep and then cook my meals fresh? Or like, am I going to do kind of a bit of both? Or what's my quote unquote plan sort of thing for that?
No, that makes sense.
But I think one of my first things when I think like, why is meal planning so hard? If we really think about it, if you're starting something that you've never done before, it's not easy.
No.
Nothing is easy in that sense.
Not when you start out for the very first time, or if you're trying to restart something that, let's say, you fell off the horse for a little bit. Perfect example would be going to the gym. If you went to the gym for a while and then you just happen to stop going for whatever reason, getting back into it can be very difficult.
Yeah, it's a good example. Yeah, but there's a number of things. Well, anything. It's nothing is easy when you're trying to put it into practice in that sense. Like it's easy in the sense that like once you're like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna follow through and that's it.
Yeah.
Then it gets easier because you're like, okay, I'm doing the thing, so I have to next step. So, and it's interesting because it's what we were basically just talking about with like, okay, this is my goal. Now I reverse engineer it and get to that result. Because if your goal is meal planning and having that be what you're doing, then okay, so how do we start with that? Well, you have to, what is a meal plan?
Yeah.
What is a meal plan for me? Am I just doing dinners? Is that my only focus? Or am I going to focus on breakfast, lunch, snack dinners, or whatnot? Right?
Yeah, because it could be different for everybody. And for some people, they look at 3 meals a day. Others look at getting 6 smaller meals for the day. So that's also something else to factor in to try to get an idea and, like you said, to get the grasp of what is meal planning look like for each individual.
So it's kind of creating your map of, okay, what is my ideal situation, or like what am I trying to follow? And then from there it's like, okay, well, if you need 3 meals a day, it's also kind of that like zone of, do I just want to cook 3 times a week and have leftovers throughout the week, or do I...
Or you're not a leftovers person, and you know that.
So in that sense, like, that's where I can see, like, okay, it can start getting...
a little bit more difficult.
Down the rabbit hole stuff. But it's like, once you have those set standards of, like, okay, this is what I'm doing, and then you follow through with it, and you might start off with just, like, okay, I'm just gonna plan my dinners. And everything else is kind of flexible.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe I'll have those dinners be able to be lunches.
For sure.
Which helps with that. But as you progress, then it's easier to kind of add on little mini steps.
No, that makes sense.
But, like, the thing is like, it's going to be a challenge
in the beginning until it's becoming second nature to your daily habits, to your weekly habits, and then eventually it just is something that you'll just always forever do.
Yeah, because generally you need like 30 days of following through with a habit for it to like start feeling more comfortable.
Right.
And then you basically need it to be in that like 90-day range for it to actually become a habit.
Right.
That you're like, okay, I've been following through with this, so I'm going to keep following through. And it's also like if you have a plan in place, you're more likely
to follow through.
It's just like there's people who have said like, okay, I'm doing like, so like let's say I have a 30-day calendar and I'm like, okay, every day that I drink my water, or right, the amount of water I'm going to drink, or if I work out or whatever, I'm going to mark off, or I can fill in, or somehow you have like a check mark or whatever. You're more likely to continue with the check mark if you if you already can see it.
Yeah.
So
because it becomes and I guess this would kind of be in almost like gamer terms. It would become kind of a completionist.
You're competitive with
task.
Yourself.
Yeah, well,
in that sense.
Well, in the sense of like video games, when a lot of people are playing games, they end up playing to completion, so they want to get all the little Easter eggs and all the little secrets hidden in the game, and they spend countless hours getting to that point. And that's just something that like I can relate to. And so it makes sense that having that checklist as you see it going through, it's something you don't want to stop.
Right. So in this sense, like for meal planning, it could be like, okay, I have like somewhat of my roadmap of like how I'm starting. Okay. So next I need to to start, you're kind of going to have to do a little bit of work, because you're going to have to be like, okay, well, what do I already have?
Right.
Is my kitchen set up properly? Like, for me to actively do this? Do I have the things in the sense of, like, equipment, pantry stock,
right,
refrigerator? Like, do an inventory of, like, what you have, what do I need to get rid of, kind of thing, as well as, like, what is my equipment like, or my kitchen setup, so that I can best strategize that. And then once you're there, it's like, okay, this is my plan of attack, in the sense of like, okay, I have this, so then what recipes do I want?
Yeah.
I need X amount of recipes because this is already my roadmap. And then, okay, those recipes, now ingredients to shopping list, right? Because you're going to have your ingredients, so then, okay, check that to your inventory. Get a shopping list.
Yeah, for sure.
Either go shopping or have it delivered to you.
Yep. And in our personal experience, getting it delivered to you, so much more worth it. Just so that way you don't have to take, like you said, it's a time saving tip. You don't have to take the hour to hour and a half to go to the store, walk around, find the product, find out they don't have the product, deal with the headache of figuring out what you want to put as a replacement.
And even if you did, like, let's say you did want to go shopping because you're like, I don't really like people shopping for me. The interesting thing on let's say Walmart app, right? If you have a store set and you're like, okay, these are the items I'm getting, it'll already show if it's in stock in the store.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty positive, so even apps like Instacart will show the same thing.
Because you can't add it to your cart in general if it's not there.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to have it shipped to you, and it'll show that it needs to be shipped. And they'll also remove things from the cart if it does that.
Right.
So, like, the upside is, like, that's also still a time-saving tip if you're like, okay, well, I need these things, because then you can also remove it from the list as you're going, if you don't have, like, a list app or something like that.
Yeah, or if you don't have something, like, where you're readily having your shopping list available.
Yeah.
Now, if you're using it on a phone, I mean, good little tip for that, too. You can use your Notes app, because then you can actually edit and cross out as you're going through it.
Yeah. Or depending on, like, different site access for like meal planning sites, they have
Yeah.
an app. Well, not even an app. It's just part of the
program,
site that you can have. Because like on the one we're working on, it already has the shopping list access where you can like upload it to have it get shopped for, but you can also mark things off if you have it in your inventory already,
which is really nice.
So tips. But so from there you already have like your shopping list, and then you go shopping. So then as you do these steps, right, you're getting more involved in it, and as you continue through, you're less likely to be like, okay, well, I'm just gonna not do it.
Yeah, no,
it's like, okay, well, I already spent the time getting the recipes. I already made a plan as to what it was going to look like. I already went shopping, got the things, so it makes sense to keep moving forward.
Exactly. Instead of now stopping and saying, you know what, like, I'm not going to keep doing this. And especially if you can automate so much of the process to being able to, like you're saying on the site that we're working on, where it's going to be able to have the shopping list auto load in for the ingredients of the recipes that you're picking. But you can also immediately send it out to, I think it's like Instacart, and just have them shop for you. So now there's already a couple things that are taken off your list.
Yeah. Now I was like, that was not what this episode was supposed to be based on, but there's lots of, like, if you have access to a meal planning site, because there's like a number of them, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's so many. And the thing is that it offers you the value of saving your time as well as helping you out of like
giving you the ideas for recipes and helping create what your meal plan could be for the week.
Which is how you can make things less hard.
Yeah.
Is like if you have access to something that can help you, because I'm sure there's some that are free that you can use, but there's also many that are, it's a pretty low entry. But the thing is that like, as someone who might not be a meal planner, if you have access to someone who can help you meal plan, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. It's, whatever like, you can do to help simplify the process.
Yeah, it was like, for instance,
that's going to be the best option.
Like for us, we have a large yard.
We do.
So and that is not our profession.
No.
So, and it saves us time and a lot of time. And I would say that it saves us money because it was a riding mower that we were like replacing things and having to do all that. So, in my opinion, time and money for us to just have the service of
a landscaping crew come out,
take care of my yard for me.
They take care of the property. They come out and they mow it and just, they clean it up and it looks great. Yeah. It looks way better than when I was doing it.
It's those things of like, okay, I could do this thing, but I also could take a little bit of time off my plate to make it easier.
And it's the best way to say it. It's like, it's delegating. You're delegating the processes of things that will take up more time and more energy for you as an individual or for you as a decision maker in your family to do. So,
and you're giving it to someone who, if they aren't a like quote unquote professional in the sense of like the industry, they at least are a professional in the sense of like
they're working in that field in some
capacity, or like they have spent a lot of time meal planning.
Exactly.
And so they're like, I know what I'm doing and it's super easy and I can help you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But I would say that our main thing with the aspect, because we fully understand that like when you're doing something new, it can seem hard.
Yeah.
But the main thing is it's hard because starting anything is hard.
It's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, because you're also going to get pushback from yourself to keep yourself in your comfort zone. Because like this part is kind of uncomfortable. But the ultimate goal is like it can help you eat more at home. It can help you stick more to a budget. It can help you have healthier meals, because honestly, meals that you're cooking at home, generally speaking, unless they have like a crap ton of processed things in them and all this other stuff, it's going to be healthier because you're also going to be paying attention to your portion sizes and what you're putting in.
Yeah.
Whereas like at restaurants, a lot of the times, like it's, I know we all complain about large, I'm going to get on a little tangent here. I know we all complain about like, oh, I need a bigger portion and stuff. But a lot of the times you're getting a double portion of a lot of your meals in the amount of stuff they put in, calorie wise and sodium wise, and like 100%. all kinds of stuff. So like the upside of cooking at home is you're getting to control that more.
I was like, in fact, touching base on what you were just saying, that you end up double portioning at restaurants, and I'm not going to name the restaurant or anything, but I happened to see it in a Facebook group, and they were talking about the group was a party of 6, and each of them got a meal, and each of them said that the meals were so big that they could have shared 3 meals amongst everybody.
Yeah.
And they would have all been perfectly fine and full by the end of it because they had so much left over. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there to show like it's not just something that, you know, us as chefs see. Mm-hmm. It's, you know, these everyday people that are seeing it as well when they're going out to these restaurants.
Mm-hmm. But main point of the day for why is meal planning hard? Truthfully speaking, on some level, it's really not. It's just new.
And it's challenging to start something new.
But in the end, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
So it'd be great to start, right?
And the best way...
Yeah, it's like
the best
way is to just do it.
Yeah, and well, it's something that's new, and the best way to learn something new is to start, and the best way to start is to just do it. Just
basically.
Jump in.
So, and you know, if you have questions or need help or any of that, you have
Feel free to reach out to us. We'll always answer questions. We love to be able to help others out there feel more confident and comfortable in their kitchen, and especially with meal plans, like we want to be able to help as many people as we can to really take that opportunity to make it easier on themselves and easier on their own families.
Yeah, because I think that I guess I think that we've said it in here before, but like a big thing for us is memories around the table.
Yeah.
And that's what we love to share with other families.
Yeah.
Is getting to have those memories in the kitchen and around the table together.
Yeah.
And at home.
Absolutely.
You can have them away too, but but you know.
But
anyways.
Until next time.
It's like
keep it 100% fresh.
Were we doing the other thing?
Yes.
You're gonna now have to clip that out.
Oh, I know. We're gonna have to clip some of this out.
So you could actually do until next time.
And what, start here? Mm-hmm. Okay. So until next time, keep it 100% fresh.
And if you are looking for our meal planning chef bites and you missed the last one, which is 5 tips on meal planning, check it out.